to stop for a moment and think about the way that you got into this tent. Was it because this is the only place where there is air conditioning and beanbags? Or was it because a friend invited you to come and he said that it's going to be interesting? We'll see. Or you don't have any idea at all how you got here. I'm going to talk about the way that I got on this stage, and my story is related with horses. And of course, I didn't come on horseback to the island, and I'm not going to talk about horseback riding either, but I'm going to talk about the relationship and the connection with these amazing creatures, and how they help me to find my way, and how I help others to find their way with their help. Ever since I was conscious, there are always horses around me. I remember that every day in school I was waiting for the moment where I could go to the fields behind our house where my horses were. And as you can see, there is no equipment on the horses, no saddle, no bit, nothing. So I had to wait and look for the opportunity when they let us on their back. I had to pay very good attention to their body language, and I had to see when they are scared, when they have the intention to run, because I had to stay alive somehow. So when they ran, I just grabbed their manes and went with them, and when they grazed, I just lay back on their back and watched the clouds. At the same time, I had to stay connected with myself as well, and also stay present. So at that time, I didn't know that it was a very, very important skill that I was developing. Then the teenage years came. They were fast and furious with a lot of ups and downs, mostly emotionally. And when I was 18, I began to work as an assistant makeup artist. So I was washing brushes, making coffee, and in my free time, I was working on my own creative projects. And as I started individually, in a very few years, I was nominated for the best makeup artist in Hungary, and I won this prize. I was happy, but at the same time, I felt the same kind of shame. I felt like it's too early, I'm too young. I began to limit myself. And also I heard some negative and angry voices around me from the people. So at hard parts like this, luckily I had a great friend, and he was always there for me, and he accepted me the way I was, and he opened my heart to the non-judgmental feeling of love and compassion towards myself and others. He had 4 legs, and he is the same age as me, and we grew up together. Okay, but how could classically horses do that? Let me explain a little bit about this process. Horses are prey animals, and that means that they are surrounding their environment all the time. When you are with a horse, you will see that the colors are more vivid, you can hear the voices more clearly, you can smell different smells of the forest, so it's kind of like a heightened awareness, which is very close to an altered state of consciousness. And also you will feel that you are more connected to nature, and you are part of nature and not apart from that. Also, you will have to pay very close attention to their body language, because if you are tense, then the horse is going to be tense, but you have to see if it comes from you through your body language, or the horse is tense because he's scared of the strange noise coming from the bushes. I'm sure it's gonna eat me, I'm very, very afraid, or maybe because he is in pain. So in this way, this constant call and response between the horse and you will help you to separate your own feelings from the feelings of others, and how through your body language you can affect the other and the other can affect you. So that was a very important skill again that I was developing with him. And I remember one day I felt like I'm rushed by everyone around me. I had a lot of things to do. I felt like I don't have enough time, and I always felt that somebody's behind me, chasing me, and I have to go and do things. So I just wanted to have a break out of it, so I went out to the fields to take a walk with my horse. Usually I could go very close to him, and I put the leading rope around his neck, and we went out for a walk and drove to go. But not this time. As soon as I got close to him and was trying to touch him, he just ran away to the other part of the forest. So I was like running up and down like crazy, trying to find him, and I was thinking like, I don't believe this. I came here for a moment, I came here to clear my mind, and it's happening, and I'm rushed again. And finally I stopped and realized that he was just mirroring how I felt and how I was acting, and he just felt my chasing energy. So I stopped, and I finally arrived where I was. I began to concentrate on my breathing, and as I was working on myself like this, I found him close to me and putting his head in my hands. It was a very, very important moment for me, that by just being aware what is going on around me, things can change. These disturbing emotions went away, and I felt like these big problems in my head just shifted, and finally everything was in its right place. In the following years, I was working as a makeup artist. I was working every day with different cast and crew. I had to adapt very quickly to various situations, and also I had to create an intimate and supporting atmosphere, even if it was actresses or actors behind their scene, or singers stepping out on a stage, or models before going to a photo shooting and they were trying to get into the right mood. I had to pay attention to very small details to enhance their beauty and not to put a mask on them, to see their true colors. And also, I had to stay connected to myself as well to do the job. At that time, I didn't know that I learned these skills from the horses, but I didn't have to know it to be able to use them. After a while, I was very successful. My name was recognized in the industry. I made good money, and I began to feel lost and unhappy too. How could this possibly be? I felt that I found my true calling, and all the people around me said that nothing is enough for you. I would be very happy in your shoes. And I began to feel like this as well, but I couldn't resist. I wasn't happy. Something was missing. So somehow I was looking for a leader or a guru or someone to help me out here. And as I was discussing my problems with my partner, he said that I always told him that when I will be old, I will be working with horses and people, maybe children. And he said, I think you should start it now. I think you should go out to the forest and take a walk with your horse and with your friends and just see what happens. You shouldn't have any expectations about it, just see. So I did, and they enjoyed it, and so did I. After a few interactions and very simple exercises with the horses, they felt more centered, more aware, more connected to themselves. And also I felt very happy about it. So not so long later, I was scrolling on social media, very useful sometimes, and an ad came up. It said, horse-assisted self-development. Wow, what is that? This is what I want to do. I never knew that something like this exists. And I knew from that moment that this is what I want to do. This is what I will do and learn no matter what. So from there on, a beautiful journey started for me, with a lot of sacrifices and a lot of resistance and a lot of change. It's hard to change. Sometimes we think it's easy, but for me it was a constant trial for a while. First of all, I had to sell all my designer stuff I collected in the 13 years working in the fashion industry to pay for my tuition. It sounds funny, but for me it was a constant inner monologue about what is important and what is not, as they were tools of my persona for such a long time. Secondly, I had to see what I have around me and what I have inside me, what I should use and what I should get rid of to adopt a new lifestyle I wanted to live. I had to see the resources and also the obstacles to reach my goal. Thirdly, I had to resist negative voices around me saying, you're insane, you built yourself up, you put so much in it, and you want to give up your career? But horses help. And I realized that this was their fear and their feeling of fear, not mine. And also, I realized that if I go on with my plan, maybe I can achieve it without hearing or just being a little bit deaf about what they are saying. So one day, a woman came to the stables to have a one-to-one session with me when I was just working as a horse-assisted trainer, just starting it. And she said, I have difficulties when it's time to connect with someone because I had previous traumas in my relationships, and I feel like that my past is somehow affecting my present, and I want to see what's happening. I said, okay. So she came to the stables on a day when it was very windy and stormy and cloudy, and the horse was acting like crazy, running up and down the arena, kneeling for the others, and just couldn't stop for a minute, feeling panicked, lost, and terribly out of trust. So I just let the women to be together with the horse. That's the first exercise we do, just to share the space. And I told the lady that this horse is feeling lost, terrified, panicked and totally out of trust. Can you relate to these feelings at all? And she said, yes, this is exactly how I'm feeling. So I just asked her to share the space and stay together with these feelings and with the horse and see what happens. And as she just stayed there and let the running away part go, the horse just began to come to her, and she was able and managed to lead her around the arena with a leading rope and even picking up her leg. For horses, picking up a horse's leg is a very, very big thing because they are prey animals and their legs are the most important thing for them, so they don't give it for anyone, even only if they are feeling really trust in the other person. So after the session, she told me that she gained her self-esteem back, and also that she learned how to deal with this lost and panicked and abandoned child inside her, and how she can manage to go on. So this is how horses help. So if you are coherent and what you feel, what you think, and what you do is in harmony, then they stay around. If you smile but that's fake, they simply go away from you. But if you're true and honest, then they stay there, even if it includes tears in your eyes. So as Arnold Bressé, a very famous therapist, said, change occurs when one becomes what he is, not when he's trying to become what he is not. The feedback from my clients, whether they are leaders of big companies or housewives or working women or working men, is always different. But one thing is always the same. These animals bring them closer to themselves, always. So as I was looking for a guru or a leader, I found that horses are the best gurus. They help me to follow my intention, to feel, sense, and hear what's around me, and let myself affect these things, but also not to lose myself, to stay connected with my feelings, even if they are difficult feelings or hard feelings, because these have a lot of very important messages from our true selves. So next time, if you are looking for a guru or a leader, then just look for someone who accepts you fully as you are, who are non-judgmental, and helps you to stay honest and true. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have a question.